Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
It's over! Fly, Eagles, fly!
Celebrate the big win with the official licensed Super Bowl champions gear. Available now at NFLShop.com.
The Eagles win it! Super Bowl 59!
From jerseys to hats to must-have collectibles, we've got everything you need to rep your team with pride. Don't wait. These styles won't last. Shop now at NFLShop.com and gear up like a champion.
This Saturday, February 22nd at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, it's the Pro Volleyball Federation's first All-Star match. The league's biggest stars will clash in a can't-miss event hosted in the Indy metro area, home of the Indy Ignite. Catch every serve, spike, and save live on CBS. Don't miss this historic showdown of volleyball's finest. The Pro Volleyball Federation All-Star Match, this Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Be there.
So, Ben, here's what's happening. Zach, Max, Tommy, Sauce, and Hawk are over there in the other room. You and I are the only two in this room.
Oh, boy. Is it another Tommy story?
Yeah, it looks like it again. And I know this is happening every week now at this point, but...
Hawk, hand in hand again. My God.
That's honest truth,
When are you going to run out of stories?
This one just popped in my head. This one just popped in my head.
But I mean...
Is this one about you or about one of your friends?
It was about me.
I just don't understand how,
The trampoline brought me there.
I don't want to even ask a follow-up question on how a trampoline got you to a story that you forgot about.
Yeah, right. And this one...
Look at all of their faces.
Is it shareable?
How do you have this many stories?
Well, it's just...
this one's not that bad. It's just...
It's not that bad.
It's just I couldn't do that.
But, it's when you're young and it's all you're thinking about.
There's not an age.
No, there is. When it's when it's the second time and it's just like...
But the rest of the story is...
Someone called you.
That's the part that's... Yeah. Come on.
You guys, it's off air.
Why did you answer the phone?
Well, it was past... It was... Yeah, we don't have to go down. I'll tell you why off air.
My God. You need a
Interesting.
How many stories do you have that you haven't told us that would still floor us? Do you know, I can't ever tell them those 3 or 4?
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Because you have to. Because every week we think you're out of stories, and then somehow you have one more that shocks all of us.
Yeah, because if there's stories that, there have to be stories you wouldn't tell us because of the authorities.
Right, because you're taking him to the grave.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Do you have stories that you will never share with us?
Yeah, because people involved, I don't want them. Yeah.
Are you?
How many stories do you believe that you have left?
I'll tell you what
that you could tell us that we haven't heard yet. That would still blow our minds. You have a handful left?
Yeah, probably.
Man.
But the good one, the funny ones, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some that I just don't know if you guys are going to react or not. Most of the time you do. But to me, they're just kind of...
Hawks in shock.
Well, I mean, this one's not nearly as bad as most of them, but I can't imagine.
Why'd you answer the phone?
Why'd you answer the phone? I got to know why you answered the phone.
I had to be home. It was late.
Yeah. Well, and
it doesn't matter.
You were a younger man, right?
Yes, we don't have to dive into details on the phone.
You only needed another 35 seconds, probably.
Right, this wasn't going to last a lifetime.
Right. Anyway.
If you're 10 minutes late or 15 minutes late, it doesn't matter.
I know, but I was trying to be a good kid.
Don't answer.
What?
Come on.
Okay.
All right, let's do the news.
Well, Ben.
I can't wait to hear it.
Well, Ben.
Let's go to break. Yeah, that's exactly what Zacho said.
KFAN News with Chris Hockey, presented by Carboni's Pizzeria.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Carboni's. You sound delicious. Hold on one second. Don't answer, Tommy. Just wait. Give yourself 45 seconds.
Oh, Dugan.
All right, now answer. A pharaoh's tomb has been discovered for the first time in more than a century. Egyptologists, what a cool job that would be.
Right. That'd be a sweet title to have.
I bet it's not, though, now that I think about
Egyptologists?
No, I was going to say, man,
because you spend a lot of time just digging in the heat.
Cool name, probably a terrible job.
Egyptologists announced this week that they found the tomb of Tutmose.
Tutmose
II, the last undiscovered royal tomb of the 18th Egyptian dynasty, dating to the 15th century BC.
That can't be right.
Wow.
That can't be right.
Why can't that be right?
Because the pyramids
BC.
were built in the 1800s.
Wow.
Just ask 9 to noon.
He'll be back tomorrow.
15 centuries before zero.
Man.
Was it still intact or like how run down was it?
Let's find out.
Yeah, and where did they find it? Where was the location?
Utah. It was discovered by a British and Egyptian team near the city of Luxor. And a great casino, by the way.
I was going to
that
say
is a great casino.
I didn't know it was an actual city. I just thought it was a casino.
That's an awesome casino.
The city of Luxor, in an area thought to contain the graves of royal women. But inside, they found the sign of a pharaoh. The pharaoh himself was found in the 1800s, but the original burial site had been unknown. Grave robbers got him. And they found him, but they didn't find his tomb till just the other day.
Interesting.
Isn't that something?
If you're an Egyptologist,
Yes.
and you do this, you find the tomb.
Yeah.
I got to think the rest of your career is going to be an absolute waste of time. Right? This was your walk-off home run.
Is this your walk-off?
No.
Are you retired? Because you just make
just
mailbox money now?
No, this is
Put your hand down.
This is like Weezer's Blue Album. Sure, they were an Egyptologist after this,
Yeah,
but the
good
only
point.
one that mattered was the Blue Album.
Not so much for the green albums.
No, he's correct.
Yeah.
It could possibly, but what if this just like makes you super motivated and you become super Egyptologist?
I just don't think there's much else to find. My point is, I think if they didn't find this for 3,000 years, my guess is this just ain't happening.
Well, it just didn't happen overnight. This has to be like 20 years in the making or however long. Because like, what if this is sign off? Like in National Treasure, like he finds the National Treasure,
Right.
and now he's done. And then people bring up new stuff to do, but like, I'm good. I made all my money. I'm good. You can't keep going.
I hang it up.
Starting over again?
Once I find this
I don't
tomb,
know,
I'm
man.
done.
You know, maybe it felt so good to find it. You're like, I know the phone's ringing, but I'm answering no matter what.
I don't care who's on the other line.
It's King Tutmos.
Right. So like, does he make
Hogstad's
money?
favorite.
He makes money off this for finding it,
I
right?
would guess so.
Don't know
I
how
know
that works.
I don't know. I don't think you do. I think it
Unless there's treasure there. It's just an empty tomb, right?
But I think all of it belongs to the Egyptian
like
Government.
museum. Or
Yeah,
It
something.
belongs in a museum, like Sean Connery said in Indiana Jones 15.
Yeah, he'll make money maybe like speaking about it. And going around
that's a
the
great point. Writing a
Yeah.
book
Or
about
what
something
you
like
do
that,
is you go One-Eyed Willie on it, right? You put a bunch of stuff in your pocket
Hey, look
and say,
over
hey,
there.
I found that tomb. And then meanwhile, you just have money bags of jewels in your pocket.
No, I had these when I got here.
Yep, I bring these
That's like
everywhere.
Outer Banks. You watch Outer Banks?
Yeah, of course I watch Outer
So
Banks.
it's like that. But like, there's no artifacts. It's just an area. Like
What
they
the
don't
hell's
get
Outer
rewarded
Banks?
for. Oh, it's a
Oh,
fantastic.
it's a great show.
It's so
what's it
good.
about?
It's like a modern day Goonies.
It's a
and
modern
they're
day
all hot.
Goonies. Yeah.
So is it a documentary show or is it a
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, got it.
It's like it's sort of a teeny bopper show, and about these teenagers now in like early 20s. Now they're early 20s in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and they're treasure hunters.
It's sick. It's so good, but it gets a little far fetched.
You think?
Oh my god! But it's so good.
Is there any hoots?
Well, there's good looking people, girls and guys. They're both very good looking.
Yeah, they're running around in bikinis
Your
all the
mom's
time.
calling.
Perfect timing. Now, why'd you go and say that?
Yeah, you just.
why'd
I
you
was
go-
talking to someone else.
Shut it.
See, you're always blaming me, but
I know, it's always saucy.
I know.
Sorry, Daddy.
Delta Airlines is offering passengers on the plane that flipped over in Toronto $30,000 each. A Delta spokesperson said Wednesday that the offer comes with no strings attached. 80 people were aboard the flight from Minneapolis when it crash landed in Toronto on Monday, injuring 21 passengers. Nobody died.
So Ben and I were talking about this during the break. I don't know what the right play is there. I have no idea if they lawyer up if they can get way more or if this is the best they're going to get. I have no idea.
That's a very good point.
And of course, in the moment, right, when you think you're going to die, $30,000 sounds like an absolute joke. But once everybody survives and you're like, all right, that was terrifying. We all made it. They're going to give me $30K? Like, that sounds like a pretty good deal, but I have no idea if that's lowballing them or not. I don't know how the market for settlements work. Ben, your hands up.
So you made a good point when we were talking about this. You're like, as the thing hits the ground and is flipping over and you think you're going to die, you're thinking, if I survive this, I get at least $1 billion.
I'm suing them for everything they have. They almost killed me.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Now that you get out and you're like, I have a lifetime story. I can say that I was on that flight. I survived a fiery plane crash. $30,000 might seem like a legitimate. I was saying, I think there's something about $50,000 feels like the right number. Mm-hmm. But let me throw something else out there that I didn't mention before. I would demand lifetime diamond status.
Great idea.
Yeah. I'd say $50,000 and I'm a lifetime diamond status member.
I tell you what, though.
What about unlimited flights?
Would you rather take $50K or unlimited flights?
Unlimited flights.
I'd take the unlimited flights too.
Close. There's those stories about like 30, 40 years ago when airlines would offer all-time rest of your life first class, and then they realized how big of a mistake that was because you'd fly every weekend.
Yeah, I would say the caveat would have to be you would have to be first class or business class wherever, because that's basically what the flight companion deal is. Like, it's basically you sign up and you have this and you're like, oh, I got a companion ticket. You know how hard those are to use?
100,000%. Impossible.
They stink.
Every flight
I've ever tried I got a free flight and I'm gonna bring Abby and but like it's only for certain qualified flights.
You can only go to Omaha.
It's like the Tuesday night red eye.
Yeah. And then you're in the back of the plane and you have the worst seat. So I would make sure that my lawyer very detailed said, if I'm gonna get the lifetime flights, first class only or business class. That's it.
I have a caveat to that, but we have a guest right now, so I'll get back to it in a little bit.
Well, let's ask our buddy Ryan Jeffers of the Minnesota Twins what he would ask for. Hi, Ryan. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Pretty good. We're talking about that plane that flipped upside down and everybody survived.
You taking that $30,000?
Well, that's what we were just discussing. What do you think? You think it's enough or not?
No. I think enough of us watched Landman to realize the discussions in these.
Isn't that the truth, man? I know. I think I'm maybe the only guy in the studio who's seen Landman. It's a great show, first of all. And second of all, you're right. When Billy Bob Thornton's son comes in and throws a wrench into things, I'm like, yeah, get him.
Yeah, you just got to learn. You got to learn from your experiences, right?
That's right.
There's no way you take that $30,000 when your plane flips over on the tarmac and they come to you the next day with $30,000. You probably should say no.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, always reject the first offer.
First offer. You know, and the other thing that I was going to bring up, Ryan, is that I'm not sure, because they were talking about instead asking for like a lifetime of flights or lifetime diamond status or whatever. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get my butt back on a plane after it flips over.
I mean, go get you a couple $1 million and then just go from there.
Yeah,
and you can buy all the plane tickets you want to get.
Right.
Wow, that would be your counter offer, at least a couple mil.
I think you got to start. Your plane flipped over on the tarmac.
He's right.
I know, but it's a heck of a story.
It's not like a wheel fell off. Like the plane flipped over.
Yeah,
and caught on fire.
And
caught on fire.
And Sauce, here's where I think you need to learn how to negotiate. Because we were all saying, is $30K enough? Ryan Jeffers is saying, start at $2 million.
Yeah.
Because guess what they can say? They can say no.
Right.
But at least you start working towards meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
Maybe you get like $700,000.
You might start at $10 million. I don't know. You got to just throw a number out there. That's what they're doing. They're throwing $30K, hoping you take it.
Well, we have a listener who was actually listening to the show on the flight.
That's crazy, but it was true.
When he feels ready to do it, because he's still pretty shook, as you can imagine. He's gonna call in and talk to us about it. But as of right now, he's he's still pretty shook by it, man.
Yeah, that's
Well,
crazy.
he needs to hire a lawyer than not talk about it.
Damn right.
Yeah, good point.
We're learning a lot about Ryan Jeffers. Ryan wants to litigate.
He's one of us, man. Let's do this.
That's the best. All right. So you're in Florida. The Twins are down there for spring training. We were talking about it earlier that on Saturday you guys technically have your first game against the Braves. Now, who the hell plays in that game? How does that work?
I think this spring training we're going to do a little bit more of early action for a lot of the guys. So I think we'll start seeing some of our guys taking the field pretty early on this spring. We don't quite have a lineup yet. I'm sure Rocco's got the whole first week of games planned out. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure we'll see a lot more action from the starting lineup pretty early in camp.
Ryan, it's Paul. Good to hear from you. Your work ethic is what got you into Major League Baseball and professional sports. But like when you guys are down at spring training and you know you're going to make the team, how many people like right after practice go play golf or go do something else and, kind of not laid back, but it's almost like we know we're going to make the team, we get our work in, and then we go do something fun. Does that happen every day?
Yeah, I think I think that most of us have our families down here. So like you get the chance to leave the field and go, whether it's go to the pool or just go spend time that you don't normally get in the regular season with them. I think you just have it's not that you're laid back or relaxed, but you can kind of plan out your spring training a little differently. Like you have a month and a half to get ready for the regular season. You're not trying to make all these impressions in that month and a half. You don't have to put pressure on your first week of live ABs. Like you can kind of just plan and then go through what processes work for you to get ready for March 27th.
Do you have this thing pretty dialed in that you feel like you're maybe not peaking, but you're in game shape and game ready when the regular season starts? Or is it gotten to the point now where like you can find a groove pretty early on in training camp?
I think it just depends. I mean, once you get a couple games under your belt, you kind of start realizing how you feel at the plate. Catchers, we always kind of get the short end of the stick on live at-bats early in camp just because we've got to do a lot of the catching work as well. So a lot of our ABs will come once we start games, and once minor league games start, then we can kind of go to a backfield and play in the minor league games and get more ABs. And you start to realize, okay, hey, I need an extra 10 at-bats or hey, I feel good and you're a couple weeks out. Like it just kind of, I think it's different every year. But you realize you can tell what you body wants and what you need.
Do you eat sunflower seeds?
Sometimes. I'm not a huge, like constantly chewing on them. But we've got a ton of different flavors, so we got to try them all around here.
So the only reason I ask is these guys know what I'm about to say, but about once every 2 years.
Dear God, I can't believe you're telling them this story. Why are you doing this?
Because I did it the other day. Hang on.
You didn't do it again. You did it again? What? You're almost 50 years old.
So check this out, Ryan. I love sunflower seeds in the shell, where I just eat the entire thing.
God, you're pouring
It tastes amazing. It tastes amazing. The problem is, it's basically like a porcupine going through your system. And there are times when it's on the way out, it is like Freddy Krueger is holding on for dear life and trying to scrape his way out. Right? It is a nightmare. So about a week ago, I'm at a holiday, Tommy. I'm at a holiday and I see a bag of sunflower seeds. I'm like, God, I haven't had those in like 2 years. I know what's going to happen, but it's so good. And I did it. I don't know. Nothing bad happened this time. Zero.
Wow. It's in there waiting, buddy.
Yeah, but now the problem is, it's like I'm not going to learn my lesson. Now the next time I want sunflower seeds, I'm like, I'm going for it.
Do you have a question for Ryan?
Why are you
I asked him if he likes sunflower seeds. No. Do you know anybody on the team that eats them?
Do I ever have bad poops? No.
No, but do you know anybody that eats them in shell, that doesn't spit out the shells?
No.
Or am I the only psycho?
No, that's ridiculous.
The shells are so
that's
good.
That's not even the sunflower seed. Like, no, the sunflower seed is inside the shell.
It sure is. Yes, it sure is. But the shell is super good and salty, and it tastes good.
My God, are you impatient?
I'm just tell one of your teammates for a goof to try it.
Tell Carlos Correa to give it a try.
Yeah, tell Correa to give it a shot.
He'll
See
be
if
on
he
the
likes
DL
it.
for 3 months.
Wouldn't that be unbelievable?
When you eat a big old tomahawk ribeye, you're not also ingesting the bone, are you?
I mean, yes, he is.
What is that
It's the
supposed to be?
same concept, you know?
It is the same concept. Yeah, I know it's wrong, but I gambled a week ago, and this time I won.
It paid off.
It was totally
Good for
worth
you.
it.
You should see him.
Maybe
eat
I'll need to do
crab
that
legs.
segment in like 1 week in the show. Just everybody do that and kind of get a little poop review.
Yeah, let's do a group science experiment.
Hawk's dad would love a poop
Let's see
review.
if any of your colons can survive it.
Oh, my
Mine
God.
did this
There's
week.
No,
No,
chance.
I'm not doing that.
Way, no way.
A bag a person.
Yeah, a bag. It's only like $2.
No, a bag in one sitting? There's no way.
I ate it over like 2.5 days.
You'd have mouth ulcers all over the place.
Dick.
Oh, it was totally
It's
worth
still in there waiting to come out.
it. We'll see. So if it was like a week ago. It should have been out by now.
Oh, Jesus.
Ryan, more importantly, because this is all I care about. Ryan, has your life changed since winning initials?
It was. To be honest, it was shocking how many, because going into, then we had the Twin Sets Live that night, and then we had the Signature Saturday, or whatever they called it, that Saturday. And it probably felt like one out of every 4 people were saying congratulations. And so, I wouldn't say my life has completely changed, but it was shocking for sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
Man, that was legit. That was one of our
was
favorite
very cool.
initials
That was
moments
sweet.
in a long time.
Yeah.
You were very good at that game. At some point, again.
I'll make it back on there for sure.
For sure.
eventually.
Ryan, if I come down just on a whim like next weekend, can I hang out with you?
Let's do it.
All right, man.
I got an extra fob for the community pool. So.
Dude, that would be awesome.
What a story. Go down, swim with Ryan, have some sunflower seeds, see what happens.
I need some sunshine, man. I need to hear birds chirping. I need some sun, dude. I can't take it. Will you hang the phone outside the window there and just let me hear what birds sound
No
like?
kidding. What's the weather
Our
there?
parents, I'm gonna closet inside, but our parents, we're getting snow. Me and my wife's parents, they're in Raleigh, North Carolina, and they got like 7 inches of snow yesterday, and we're sending pictures of the pool, and they're sending us pictures of the snow. So we're making everybody jealous right now.
Wait do you see the pictures Corey's going to send you?
Hey, Ryan.
Blocked and reported.
It looks like a shark attack.
Oh, ick.
Ryan, this is Ben. We've never met, so it's nice to meet you. The thing that I want to say right now is that I hate you. And I in all seriousness, that you're in the middle of training camp, and you're talking about how fun it is, and you got your family down there.
Pool.
Yeah.
As a football player, and Tommy's sitting next to me, he's a football player as well. Our training camps were horrible. Like you didn't have a solid poop for 10 days before training camp started because you had so much anxiety and nervousness. You guys are bringing your families down. The birds are chirping. Life is great. I kind of hate you right now.
Yeah, this is spring training for us. Is kind of like it's a good time because you kind of ramp up your off season work to a peak right before you report, and then when you get to spring training, you kind of slow it down a little bit, and you kind of build back up. We get in here 7 a.m. in the morning, and we'll most of the time be able to leave by 1 o'clock or whatever.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a good time. We enjoy it, but it's also we got 162 games to get ready for, so we can't put too much weight on these this month and a half of spring training games that don't matter in the end.
Wow.
By the way, Ryan, I did trade for you on my MLB The Show team. Yep.
Thank you.
I made you all 99, and I think you have 60 home runs in the first 42 games.
Promise kept. Way to go.
Yeah.
Just projecting 202025.
Yes,
for me,
correct. Yes, I'm here for you.
Dude, you're the best, man. Have fun, and maybe we'll talk to you in a week or so. That would
I'll
be
see
awesome.
you next weekend.
Thank you. Sounds good. Talk to you next week.
All right, there he goes. Ryan Jeffers. Man, I love that guy.
Dude, he's the best.
guy.
Yeah, he's the best.
One of our new favorite dudes in the last couple of years. He's just a really good dude.
Great dude.
All right, Sauce Sports next with Sauce. Tommy, you got to go?
I got to go.
Big boy job. All right, dude. See you.
everyone.
Bye,
Sauce with Sports after this on The Fan.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
back to the Power Trip. Welcome back to the Power Trip Morning Show. All right. All right, hang on it. No, nothing.
Is he telling you what happened? What he told us?
No. I just Max and I just played a fun game with
You
Ben.
can't do that.
We just did it.
You cannot do that.
We just did it. No, we just did it. Let's do sports with Sauce. Ready, Sauce?
What?
It was a fun game we played.
Just heard Lil Jon in the hallways.
For Fan 5 on the Power Trip.
I know.
Presented by All Around.
I know.
No, I think they told him
All
something.
Around.
No, I know. I was just told what he was told. I know.
Yeah.
I know, Ben.
Ready,
I know.
Saucer?
I have
Merry Christmas.
so many questions.
Fire away, Saucy Saucerson.
Hang on.
You have it on your phone.
One of us.
I do, yeah. Hold on. The U.S. will battle Canada tonight in the championship game. Zacho, of the four nations face-off. Game time is 7 p.m.
Yeah, be near TV tonight. Find it, go watch it on ESPN, and enjoy
There
what.
gonna be a lot of fights, right?
It's going to be probably one of the best sporting events you'll see ever in your life. So,
oh wow!
I mean, it's literally top news on ESPN. People have been talking about it all week.
I can't believe it, man.
Don't miss it.
I'm super excited because check this out, Ben. They're saying I'm trying to bring you back to life, Ben. They're saying the ticket prices are rivaling Super Bowl ticket prices.
Is that right?
That's what I'm not kidding. I just read that on I think USA Today or something like that. Like if you wanted to buy aftermarket tickets right now, it would cost you similar to what a ticket for the Super Bowl would be. How cool is that? I didn't think it would be this big a deal.
Okay, I didn't either. And I know that everybody's like all over the NHL for this, and I know that you guys have probably talked about it here, and I know Zacho's probably talked about it a lot. But let me just throw my 2 cents in. Freaking gigantic applause for the concept, for the players themselves. This is why I think the NHL and hockey players don't get enough love. Is that this might be the last hope for all of professional sports where the players care about the actual sport. They really care about the game itself, what it means to them, what it means for the future. I can't say the same thing about the NFL.
Well, and may I interrupt because I had an idea, Ben, and you tell me piggybacking on what you're saying. I've heard nothing the last week about how bad the NBA All-Star game was.
I didn't even know what was happening because I have so little interest.
Train
in
wreck.
It.
Yeah, how much cooler would something like this be for the NBA? Like, could you do something
You
like
never
this?
get it back. You know, the NBA, to me, if they were to get back to what we grew up with in the 80s and 90s, and that level of respect and care for the game, I think that we're 30, 40 years away from that.
Right.
Like, if they made an about face right now, it would take that long for the youth of America and worldwide basketball to get back to a point where they cared about the game.
So here's the theory, though, right? This week, it's been a lot of people have been asking on those national TV shows like Around the Horn and PTI and Get Up and all this stuff, all the ESPN ones. Would a USA versus the world work for the NBA, right? Like if we basically steal this model and just say,
better idea, by the
take
way.
the 12 best Americans versus the 12. I would still.
You can't change the culture like that.
Right, that's what I would ask. Because the Olympics last summer, that was legit.
It was
right?
awesome.
The France game, the U.S. had to give everything they had. Steph Curry put on that unbelievable show. You could tell the Americans really freaking cared. That's the Olympics, though. I don't think they would care if it was USA versus the world. They might try harder than they do now, but right now they try 0%. So even a 20% increase is still half-assing it.
I have a better idea.
These guys care 100%.
I have a better idea.
Go for it.
North, south, east, west. You divide the USA up, and you put it in regions where you're literally playing for your region of the country. I don't know. I'm thinking.
I think that's a great idea. I don't think they're going to get on board with it because at the essence, at the very bottom of any one of these extracurricular exhibition games is the fact that they don't want to be injured. They're not making the money that they would be making in the NBA. They have a whole bunch of other things. While the rest of the players that don't get selected from one of these regional teams, they get time off. They get to go on vacation. Yeah. They get to do whatever. These guys don't. What do they care? Just to get some sort of trophy or a medal?
Zach, how often is the plan to have this?
Well, I mean, this is just kind of a blip to kind of get ready for the Olympics next year. I would imagine the success of this will change the plans in the future because I believe there is still plans for an All-Star game in 2027, but I can't imagine them going back to.
But maybe every year would be overkill, right? Maybe this is more of an Olympics feel, or if it's every year, it wouldn't feel as special.
Well, because I think the pitch at this point would be to mix it up. Like if you came back with this format in 27 with Russia, that would be a whole new thing.
Yeah, correct.
And, one thing the NHL has, I guess, as an advantage over the NBA when it comes to players caring is, I mean, I've talked about in the past, like the NBA players are paid in 9 figures now. We barely get over 10 million in the NHL. I mean, so as far as money goes, there is still, I guess, it's not like where you're basically getting generational wealth now. And how are you supposed to care about what is at the end of the day an exhibition if you are making hundreds of millions of dollars? Where hockey players, I mean, a lot of those guys are still making 8 figures, at tops. So I don't know. I hope that they keep this going because if you look at international, like soccer, for example, they've got the Euro tournament and then they got the
Champions League.
The Champions League. They have these. Well, I mean, I guess more talking, the national programs. They got Euro, they got the CONCACAF or whatever they call it.
Nobody cares about that.
Right. But at least in Europe, there are these established deals. Between that and
the CONCACAF
the World
is a
Cup.
North American thing.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But wherever you are, I'm just saying that you could do like a European, like Sweden versus Finland versus whatever, and then we could have U.S. versus Canada that 20 year of 27, where you're still having that national pride. But
the top guys, the McDavids, the Austin Matthews, that's still generational money, and they still have Stanley Cups they're trying to win. Right? Yeah. They're still risking their season, maybe their long term health. So to Ben's point, these aren't guys making minimum wage who are fighting. Or these aren't amateurs that are, in the Olympics 40 years ago. These are multi-millionaires, tens of millions of dollars, some of the guys at the top, and they still care 100% about winning this thing, right? Like Jack Eichel the other day said this is the biggest game he's ever played in his entire life.
Yeah.
That's insane. Didn't he just win a cup?
And there's just something about hockey players when they put
was Eichel on that cup team? He was on the cup team, was he not? Was Eichel on that cup team?
Yes. No. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. No.
Either way.
No.
We even saw something similar with the World Baseball Classic a couple of years ago. When it becomes a national thing, there's a lot more pride and things to play for on the line.
The thing that seems to be apparent, though, across compared to all the other major sports is just the pride level that these guys have in general. These guys care about the longevity and the legacy of their sport. I don't think NBA and the NFL, I don't think they care that much, And that's just something that's like deeply rooted in just hockey culture. And I think it's hard to replicate. I would love to see these other leagues try, but it's going to be years and years and years, and you got to change. You got to change the way you do things at the youth level to make that big of a change.
By the way, Eichel was on that championship team a couple years ago. He was second in voting for Conn Smythe, and he still thinks this is the biggest game he's ever played in his life. That's insane. Vikings news in a second. More with Ben Lieber after this. Power to more.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Yes. What a show. It's Power Trip Morning Show. Here we are. What a day it's been. Speaking of Ben, here's Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Hi,
Ben. What a show.
I don't know where you guys are going with this, but, given the fact of some news that I was just given about 10 minutes ago, this has been maybe the hardest compartmentalization I've ever had to pull off in my life.
Yeah, but you're a pro.
Well,
you're a pro.
I don't know.
You had Maxo on your show the other day, we heard,
I'm going to tell you right now, Maxo, you are a star. We always knew that, but it is every time you've been on our show, everybody just raves about just what a gentleman you are. You're always smiling. You have great energy. You always bring something unique. You can tell that you are trying to bring something different. Like, you don't mail it in. Some people, like, no matter what you do, like, yeah, you can just tell they mailed it in, right? They might be fun, they might be nice, they might be entertaining, but you can kind of tell they mailed it in. Like, you actually put some thought into your selections and made it interesting. It was fun. Having you on is a lot of fun.
I really appreciate that, because I'm not going to lie, the last 48 hours, I was like, dude, I did terribly on Twin Cities Live, and I felt this whole, the last couple of days, I've just been feeling like I was ass. So I really appreciate that.
Don't think that at all. Do not think that at all.
It's so much fun getting to hang out with you guys, man.
Yeah. And isn't it so different?
It is.
Doing this and then doing that.
Right.
It is different because every time I go on that show as well, or around that show, I always say how jealous I am that you guys have like this giant team of people with ideas and they're working, and like, what? We just go home at 9 o'clock. We don't have anybody to help us. It's like the 5 of us, 5 days a week, but that's it.
Yeah, it's much more of a production.
You guys have production meetings and phone calls and conference calls and brainstorming sessions.
It's like Santa's workshop versus the Temu workshop.
Well said.
What the hell is that supposed to be?
Couldn't be more right.
Apt description.
All right, let's do Vikings news. Ben used to play for the Vikings. Remember that?
I remember, man.
It's been a long time.
Been a long time.
It's time for Vikings news on the Power Trip, presented by Accessories Pro.
So, Ben, we talked about this before you got here, right before you got here, actually. The NFL told teams that the cap is growing something like $53 million over the last 2 years. It's going to jump up another 20 or 30 this year, somewhere between 277 and 281. Nothing but more money for the players, which is good, obviously. But any thoughts on the cap increasing yet again?
No, I mean, I think it's great. The overall health of the NFL, it's amazing that it just continues to make money year over year. It's COVID proof. It's recession proof. I mean, if we could all buy stock in the NFL, we would. I mean, it's the ultimate dream to win the lottery and be able to buy a piece of any franchise, because you're just going to make money every single year. But the thing is, I don't know, maybe I'm looking at this completely sideways and wrong, but I don't think it doesn't, I think it's a detriment to the teams like the Vikings that are in the top 10 of cap spending, because, it is going to raise everybody's buying power. And that's not necessarily what you want when you go into the league. You go into this year already with, $60-some million in cap space, and everybody's very excited about our possibilities of getting some top tier 1 players. But if the teams on the bottom can get some salary cap relief now they can be players in, obviously not all of free agency, but what if there's a team that's they have a cap spend in the low 20s or the high 20s if you're looking at the rankings. And now all of a sudden they can shed a few player contracts, and now they have more money to spend, and they're really targeting an offensive guard as well. And maybe they put all their eggs in one basket and say, like, we're going after Trey Smith. And now you get in a bidding war with a guy that all of a sudden you have to pay an extra $8 to $10 million for, if not more, just because now the league is making more money. So I know it's a case-by-case basis, but I don't necessarily look at this as a great thing for the Vikings that the salary cap has gone up.
Totally agree with everything you just said, but isn't the counter to that any good GM would have known that this kind of a jump is likely coming anyway, and probably in the last year or two planned for this? So to your point, the guys that are at the bottom that don't have a lot of cap space probably knew they were going to get relief of some level, maybe not exactly 23 million or whatever, but they probably knew they had more space than was on the books.
Well, I think that's the difference here is every year the cap is going up. We know that. They can predict, a 5% increase or whatever it is. The reason why this is making headlines is because this has gone up way more than anybody ever predicted. So, yes, I'm sure that you've gone through exercises where, like, let's just say that the cap goes up by 5%, 6%, 10%. I'm sure that you have contingency plans, but now that it actually is taking place, it's sort of historic how much it's gone up in the last 2 years.
That's a lot of money. $53 million.
It's a lot of money. And so, yes, I think it's great for the players. the old man take is let's see if they actually give some money back into the retired players fund and all this other stuff. But, I don't necessarily think this is a great thing when it comes to now bidding for free agents, especially the top tier free agents for us, for the Vikings.
Ben, do you want to go to Brazil or Ireland? Where do you want to go?
Definitely more Dublin than.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. By the way, how about Brazil? I saw a big article doing exactly what we've all been doing the last couple of days, like knocking off the teams that aren't probably going to
be. Yeah.
And according to the article I read, it's basically 3 teams to face the Chargers in Brazil, and the Vikings are one of them.
Of course, yeah.
Just in terms of they wouldn't send these teams, here's why. They wouldn't send these teams, here's why. They wouldn't send the division teams. It's really between like the Commanders, Vikings, and I forget who the third one is, but it's I don't know if, the NFL I assume they already know who they're sending, but like the Vikings are definitely in that mix. Paul, your hands up.
And a small angle, you get Harbaugh against McCarthy.
Well, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Yeah. It's a good angle.
Yeah.
Or if you want to believe all the people out there, it's not going to be McCarthy. It's going to be Sam Darnold or,
I think that's going,
Aaron Rodgers.
I think that's fading quickly, that Sam Darnold is leaving.
I love how they treat the international games though, like a game of Clue. How you just cross off Colonel Mustard, you cross off Professor Plum, and you're just trying to, you use the, deductive reasoning, and you start figuring out who's left.
Yeah.
And it's fun when the Vikings are one of 3 that makes sense.
Damn
and then
right.
Even if it's 0% because the NFL has already decided it's the Commanders, it's just fun to go, what if we're going to Brazil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That'd be great.
I would love it. I will go, but I sure hope we don't. I'd much rather go to
I hope we don't. Because
I've heard just nightmares.
It's a nightmare, and
it's not a 2-week vacation. You guys are in and out in 4 days or something.
Yeah, that's the other thing is, when you're the teams that did it this last year, was it the Packers and Eagles?
Yeah, that's right.
At least I guess I'm thinking about this out loud. I guess I talked to people on both sides of it. The travel is way more exhausting than you'd think, and you absolutely are not getting there with enough time to enjoy it, and you're constantly looking over your shoulder. It's not relaxing to be there just because of the safety aspect.
Yeah,
the field conditions, all that stuff weren't great. I mean, there's literally people on both sides didn't say one good thing about the game in Brazil.
Not a single
Not
word.
a single good thing. But if we go to London series, the Dublin games, I mean, those are all amazing.
That's Pittsburgh, right? Is that the team that we might play in Dublin?
And I've heard that one's been shot down.
I think that's Green Bay is going.
Yeah.
That's the hot rumor on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Green Bay is going to Ireland.
That hasn't leaked, but I think a lot of people are saying no, it's green. It's not going to be the Vikings in Dublin.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So then we're more likely to go to Brazil then.
Or neither.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll go.
Feels like a neither this year.
Does it really?
Feels like a neither, and then let's hope somehow, some way, because again, the Vikings are also possibly in the mix for Australia, right? Because I believe we're on the Rams schedule in 26.
Can you imagine?
Right?
That would be awesome.
So we are a road opponent. We're a road opponent of the Rams in 26.
Dude, what if
that would be the best?
What if legitimately the Vikings go to play in Australia and I just don't get on the plane to come home and you never see me again?
You know what the rule is?
We would all applaud. We'd cheer. We'd have a huge party.
You guys remember me, kind of?
I would. I'd miss you daily.
Trust me. If you went to Australia, you would not come home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Trust
But
me.
we'd have you on every once in a while just to do outback hocky.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're
right. That's a good point.
Just so we could hear your accent.
Hi, good day, mate.
So it's like the end of the Americans, right?
Yeah.
You don't get on.
Yeah, don't go looking for him.
Don't go looking for him. With or without use plane.
Great
song. My.
Kerry Russell's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
The whole bit.
Oh my.
Yeah. Let's wheel and deal on the air here. If the NFL is listening, don't send the Vikings to Dublin. Don't send the Vikings to Brazil. Send us to Australia in 26. Deal?
I'm in.
We'll skip Brazil and Dublin if you just say yes to Australia.
Smash.
All right. That was Goodell. He says smash.
All right.
You know what we should do? Here's what we should do. We should accept the visitor role in Australia.
Well said.
Thank you. And then we follow that up with we just go right from Australia to London and then go back home.
Okay.
We'll make it a 2.5 week trip for all of us.
I like it.
And we go west the entire time and play King of Wishful Thinking the entire time. So we fly west to Australia, and then from Australia west to London, and then west to Minneapolis. We go all the way around the world in less than 80 days.
That'd be great.
That would be sweet. Not in a hot air balloon, by the way. Just airplanes would be great. Although right now, maybe a hot air balloon's safer?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Take $30K to go on a hot air balloon.
I wouldn't. You couldn't pay me to get in a hot air balloon.
I'll give you $1 million. No. I'll give you $10 million.
No way.
$50 million.
I'm too heavy. $50 million, fine. But I have this huge fear. That sounds terrible. It sounds like being stuck in an elevator
really
in the
fun.
air.
Okay, so hang on.
Really fun.
Let's make this real, because we're not flying over the Atlantic to London or whatever, right? With a hot air balloon. If somebody in the Twin Cities has a hot air balloon company or can take people up on hot air balloon rides or scenic views of Stillwater or something, if somebody's listening, if in May they say, we'll bring you up, Sauce, how much would you have to be paid to go on a 1-hour hot air balloon ride in Minnesota? You just said you couldn't pay me.
I don't think I could do it. I really don't.
$2,000. We're talking real money. No more hypothetical. Somebody says, I'll give you $2,000 to do it.
No.
$5,000.
No.
$5,000 to ride a hot air balloon.
No, it's an elevator in the air. That's terrifying.
That's a lie.
$15,000.
No.
That's a lie.
I was going to say that's like some money for Louis' college fund, but it's a Lambert. I don't know if he's going to. I don't know if he's going to.
Don't say that about Louis.
I mean,
there is no Louis when he's
$25,000 final offer. $25K for an hour in a hot air balloon.
Cash?
Tax free.
No, he's going to write you a check.
Tax free. All straight to the bank. Kel is screaming at the radio to take this deal.
Well, she wants me to just
she
float
hopes
away.
she just wants you to die. She hopes you end up in Oz.
The prison?
Yep.
That's actually a good question, though. Assuming that the hot air balloon it pops or something when he's up in there and it falls down.
Doesn't have to.
His crashing death.
Doesn't have to.
Kel gets the music, right? Or the money, right?
The music.
Yeah,
the music.
Either way. The money stays in the Lambert family if the ride goes south.
All right.
Yep. Yes. $25K you do?
Sure.
Not a dime
if I passed
less.
away, my wife and child would get it. Yeah.
$22,000?
No, $25,000. I'm bad at negotiating because I always just say yes.
$25K for a hot air balloon. Interesting.
Would you do it?
For way less than $25K. Way less.
It'd take at least 10 to get me in there.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm afraid of heights, man. I got no issues.
Since when did you guys all have this hatred for hot air?
I was thinking about doing one when I was in Marrakesh.
Yeah, you're leaving what, Friday?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, I'm thinking about they have like a camel ride to a hot air balloon bit going on.
Do you know this, Ben? You know his world trek? Do you guys talk about that on
No,
Twin
we did
Cities
not
Live?
talk about that.
Give him the highlights quickly, Max.
Are you going to one of those tickle competitions?
I'm not going to one of the tickle competitions. That's PA. That's where he's at right now. He's doing play-by-play. I'm going to Tunisia, Malta, Belgium, and Morocco.
Dude, that's amazing.
It's amazing.
Right?
Yeah, that's
I'm
sweet.
super excited.
That's what you got to do, buddy.
I want to go to Morocco. I heard that place is awesome.
Dude, it looks phenomenal.
Give us a full report.
Yeah, I definitely will.
I want to go there, and I want to go to Istanbul and Constantinople.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Was in Istanbul.
It's so cheap. When you're in that region, it's nuts how cheap it is to fly in between countries. Like, none of my plane tickets cost more than $30.
I want to go to Key West.
Yeah. You should. That's your kind of town.
It is, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it there, Ben. Have you been? You've been? Haven't you been?
I've been there, yeah.
I love it.
We did not go. Where are we? We're in Marathon. We are on the. We are on the little island before you get to Key West.
Got it. Yeah.
Is that Turks and Caicos? Is that where you were?
Rosie's spot?
No. That's Ben's spot. Ben's spot.
Lieber's going there. Or
Yeah,
Rosie's going soon.
Again?
No, he's going to Palm Springs.
He was just there.
He should go on another vacation.
I love Rosie.
Fan 5 is next. Headlines in the 8 o'clock hour. There's Parker Fox. Look at Parker back there. We haven't seen him in forever.
Where have you been?
Look at him.
Congratulations, man.
There's
What a
Parker,
run.
man. Yeah, you guys are kicking some ass. We'll talk to Parker Fox of the Gopher basketball team in a little bit as well. More of the Power 2 Morning Show after this on The Fan.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
It's over! Fly, Eagles, fly!
Celebrate the big win with the official licensed Super Bowl champions gear. Available now at NFLShop.com.
The Eagles win it! Super Bowl 59!
From jerseys to hats to must-have collectibles, we've got everything you need to rep your team with pride. Don't wait. These styles won't last. Shop now at NFLShop.com and gear up like a champion.
This Saturday, February 22nd at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, it's the Pro Volleyball Federation's first All-Star match. The league's biggest stars will clash in a can't-miss event hosted in the Indy metro area, home of the Indy Ignite. Catch every serve, spike, and save live on CBS. Don't miss this historic showdown of volleyball's finest. The Pro Volleyball Federation All-Star Match, this Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Be there.